Some of you have asked me how students can mark their reading and have it show up in Wise. I know in Wise it still has a thing that says mark today's reading, and that has been terribly frustrating for teachers because we're like, wait, I didn't think we were marking today, daily reading anymore. And so let me just show just a couple of things in hopes that it helps. First off, if you want to use the Gospel Library app, you can go down, you can kind of scroll to where it says study plans, and then you'll need to scroll over. But the last one says New Testament Seminary Reading, and it will automatically show all of the readings that your students needed to do for the New Testament, both the first half of the New Testament and the second half of the New Testament. So it's nice in that students can see it, they can mark on them, and then kind of mark that it's been done. The bad thing is that it doesn't show up in Wise at all. And so at the end of the semester, you'd still have to say, hey, who did their reading? And then you would have to mark it for them. Or, and I just found this out just this week, and that's why I'm showing it to you. There is a way in MySeminary. Let's get a little bit closer here. There we go. There's a way in MySeminary that you can do this. Now, if you are unfamiliar with MySeminary, I don't talk about it too much because the students see one thing in MySeminary, parents see a different thing in MySeminary, seminary teachers see a different thing in MySeminary. So as a seminary teacher, if you go to myseminary.churchofjesuschrist.org, you will not see the same thing the students are. And so I'm showing you what the student view is. This is my son. And so as soon as you log in, you can go down at the bottom, it will say add MySeminary to the home screen. And basically this is just saying that it will make it look like an app. So they don't have to go into the like a web browser and type in myseminary.churchofjesuschrist.org every time. They can just click on that add to the home screen, and then it looks like an app. They can just click on the app and it will open up for them. So there's the first thing that's helpful. As they log in, there's a thing right there. It says reading progress. If they click on that, it will open up this view and they're able to mark their reading. I just checked it. This is working. And so if you click it, so example, if my son clicks on this Acts 1 through 12 as having, hey, I've completed my reading, then it actually shows up in Wise that they've done their reading. They've done a part of their reading. And so this way they can do it every day. They can, or every day they can do it as they go through it. And as they do, it will show up in Wise. That should save you a lot of time at the end. And you won't have to ask all the students because it will just be there in Wise. The other thing this has is right at the top, as you can see, it says reading goals. We've talked a little bit about this, but we want the students to have a reading goal that they've set. And so if you click on that reading goal and then down at the bottom, it has right here, view goal examples. Here are just some examples that the students can see that might be a reading goal that they would want to do, or at least it might start them to be thinking, okay, how could I set a reading goal? What reading goal do I want to set? They can set the amount, they can set the period of time, and so they can do minutes, hours versus chapters, sections, pages. And they would just write it. I'm sorry that you can't see it there, but right there it says set a goal, and they're able to set a goal. Now, the goal has nothing to do with if they get credit in your class or not. Remember, in order to get credit, they just need to read these few chapters right here. And so this is like the floor goal right here. This is the ceiling goal. What do they want to really excel in? Once they write that goal, when they go into MySeminary as to mark their reading, they should be able to see that goal. It'd be a good thing to remind them, hey, how are you doing with your goal? Now, the question can be asked, if it's not a part of graduation, why are we wanting them to set a goal? And why are we taking time in seminary to encourage them to read if it's not a part of their grade anymore, as like it was before? And here's maybe one of the quotes that just jumps out to me. This was from the Gospel Teaching and Learning Handbook. And it says, there are few things teachers can do that will have a more powerful and long-lasting influence for good in the lives of their students than helping them to learn to love the scriptures and to study them on a daily basis. And so that's why we're doing the goal. That's why, again, we've got two types of goals. We've got the required reading that is a part of their credit, and then we've got the goals that they can set that is not a part of their credit, but probably more helpful than a lot of the things we'll be doing in seminary. Because if they can leave your class with a habit of reading the scriptures daily, that's going to bless them much more than any of your individual lessons could. And so please take some time on that. Show your students how to do that. Have a student get up, because again, if you log into MySeminary, it's not going to show the same. So have a student get up and have them log in and just walk with them and as they go through and set up those goals. Obviously, if they don't have a phone, they could still log into MySeminary and do this, but it's not going to be quite as easy for them if they're using like a mom and dad's phone or your phone, laptop, whatever it might be. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that that option is there. It's available. It's working as of today, so hopefully it keeps on working. Some of you have asked about, you wanted to know a little bit more about how to encourage daily reading, and I'll talk about that later in a different micro training, but I just wanted to get this one out to you. All right, thanks a lot.